Hey, Ryan from Media Ace Marketing. Let me paint you a picture that might feel familiar. You get a call from a potential customer. They found you online. They immediately ask, "What's your hourly rate?" Or, "How much do you charge per square foot?" Before they've even told you what they need. Or maybe you spend hours preparing a detailed quote only to hear, "I got someone who can do it for half that price." I had a guy tell me just last week, "Man, I'm tired of driving around just to lose jobs to guys who cut corners. What's the point of even showing up anymore?" And I get it. That feeling in your gut when it happens, that's what being treated like a commodity feels like. Just another contractor, another price tag, another option in a sea of options. You only have so many quotes you can give in a week. What if everyone went to someone that's already ready to work with you? Think about what that would do for your business and your sanity. This isn't about getting fewer jobs, it's about getting better jobs with less effort. And it starts with how people see you. I want to talk about a shift that changes everything for contractors. This shift from being just another quote to becoming a trusted advisor. It's not just about charging more, it's about being valued differently. And it transforms both your business and your quality of life. When contractors tell me I'm sick of competing on price, what they're really saying goes much deeper than money. They're saying I'm tired of not being respected for my expertise. Or I'm frustrated spending hours on estimates that go nowhere. I'm exhausted trying to explain why quality matters to people who just want the lowest bid. When a client says, "We just want it done right this time," that's your cue. They're looking for more than a builder. They're looking for someone they trust. That's the moment to step into your trusted advisor role. All because you can give every caller an estimate? That doesn't mean you should. Think about what your day looks like right now. Driving all over town, writing up detailed quotes, explaining proper methods and materials, only to have customers use your knowledge to negotiate with cheaper competitors. Does that sound familiar? Here's what happens to hardscapers every spring. A homeowner calls after finding them online, asks for an estimate on a paver patio. The contractor drives 45 minutes each way, spends an hour measuring and explaining proper drainage and base prep, creates a detailed quote, only to hear, "I found someone who can do it for half the price." Meanwhile, that competitor is cutting corners on materials and prep that will fail in 2 seasons. Most homeowners aren't trying to lowball you. They just don't know what quality looks like until you show them. They can't see the difference between proper base prep and cutting corners. They don't understand why your materials cost more. Your job isn't just to build it right, it's to help them see the value of doing it right. But what if I told you there's a different way to operate? A way where clients come to you pre-sold on your value, where they say things like, "Hey, I heard you're the best, and I only work with the best." Or, "When can you start?" instead of, "How much do you charge?" That's what happens when you shift from just another quote to a trusted advisor. And it changes everything about how clients see you, talk to you, and value your work. We call this your authority positioning layer. It's what separates you from every other quote they're getting. It's not some fancy marketing trick. It's how you show up, how you communicate, how you establish your expertise before they even ask for a price. Let me say that again. It's not your craftsmanship that's the problem. It's how you're showing up in the marketplace. The numbers don't lie here. Trusted advisor contractors report 30 to 50% higher margins and close rates of 60 to 80% because they're not fighting to justify their worth. They're working less and making more because they're focused on the right clients. So what exactly does this shift look like? And more importantly, how do you make it happen? First, let's identify the signs that you're stuck as just another quote. You're just another quote when potential clients say they might try to tell you exactly what materials to use without asking your opinion. They focus immediately on labor rates or cost per square foot. They act like a general contractor when they have zero experience. when they compare your quote with 3 or 4 others before deciding, if they question you every line item on your estimate, or they ghost you after you've spent hours educating them. Any of that sound familiar? It's draining, it's frustrating, and it's unnecessary. The shift to trusted advisor happens when you change how you show up in the market. It's not about the quality of your work. You're already doing great work. It's about how others see you and how you communicate how you communicate your value. Think about what it feels like to walk into a job as a trusted advisor. You arrive confident, not desperate. You ask different questions. You listen more than you talk. And you don't pull out a measuring tape right away. You're there to understand their vision first, not just measure and quote. You're dressed a little sharper maybe, but most importantly, you carry yourself like the expert that you are. Because when you know your worth, others sense it too. What if your next quote started with a new question? Something like, what made you decide now was the right time for this project? Or what would make this project a complete success for you? These aren't just conversation starters, they're immediately positioning you differently. They show you care about the why, not just the what. Try it on your very next call and watch how the conversation shifts. You don't stop quoting overnight. You start shifting how you're going to show up, one call at a time. That's the move. You're not risking momentum. You're just gradually upgrading who you work with. This is about small shifts that create massive changes in who hires you and how much they value what you do. This requires a mindset shift first. Most contractors see themselves as doers, skilled laborers, but clients are looking for solutions to problems, not just hiring a pair of hands. When you position yourself as the expert who solves problems, everything changes. I've heard this same story from dozens of contractors. They spend thousands on leads each month, chasing down every call, write up detailed estimates, and compete against guys who cut corners on materials, all while their profit margins keep shrinking. That's the cycle so many qualified contractors find themselves trapped in. The first internal sign that a contractor is making this shift is that they stop jumping at every request for an estimate, and they start qualifying prospects before investing time. They ask questions that reveal whether a client values quality or is just price shopping. One contractor I know shifted his entire introduction, and instead of, I'd be happy to give you an estimate, he started saying, I'd like to learn more about your project goals first to see if we'd be a good fit. That simple change started filtering out price shoppers immediately. Here's another small action you can take today. Create a one-page how we work document. Nothing fancy, just an outline of your process that values and what makes a good client partnership. Send it before an estimate. The price shoppers won't even read it. The quality clients will appreciate your professionalism. All because you can respond to every lead the same way. That doesn't mean you should. So how do referrals change this dynamic? When someone comes to you through a referral, the conversation starts completely different. Instead of how much, it's, my friend said you did an amazing job. Instead of skepticism, there's built-in trust. Think about how different your day looks when you hear, hey, you come highly recommended, or I heard good things about you. The mindset shifts from if they hire you to when can you start the project? You're no longer defending your price. You're advising on the best approach. You're not a vendor. You're a trusted partner. Many contractors I speak with share this exact experience. They built businesses based on quality craftsmanship. They create a beautiful outdoor space that lasts, but they find themselves competing against guys who skip proper drainage and use thinner pavers, and they undercut their price by 30%, leaving them with an impossible choice: lower their standard or lose the job. The shift to a trusted advisor solves this dilemma, because trusted advisors aren't competing on price in their first place. They're competing on expertise, reliability, and results. Here's what clients do differently when they see you as a trusted advisor. They ask for your professional opinion rather than telling you what to do. They focus on timeline and quality more than price. They introduce you to friends and family. They return for future projects without shopping around. They trust your material recommendations. They pay deposits without hesitation. And from the client's perspective, when a homeowner says, "I've been burned before, I just want someone I can trust," and you show up with clarity, confidence, and care, you're not just building a patio, you're restoring peace of mind. You're eliminating the anxiety they feel about spending thousands of dollars. You're giving them that gift of knowledge. You're giving them the gift of knowing they made the right choice. So how do you actually make this shift? It's not as complicated as you might think. First, you need to change how you communicate. Stop talking about what you do and start talking about the problems you solve and the outcomes you deliver. Don't just say, "We install pavers." Say, "We create outdoor living spaces that increase your home's value and it lasts for generations." Try this today. Rewrite your first email response or phone script and replace "We'd be happy to provide an estimate" with "We'd like to learn if we're the right fit for your project goals." It's a small change that signals you're selective, not desperate. Second, you need to demonstrate expertise before the sale. Share a valuable insight. Educate potential clients. Position yourself as the guide who helps them achieve what they want, not just another contractor bidding for work. Here's a small action with a big impact. Take photos of the underside of your projects, the drainage layers, the prep work nobody sees. Create a simple before, during, and after sheet that shows what quality preparation looks like. When price shoppers say, "This other guy's cheaper," you can show exactly why and what they'd be risking. Third, you need to change how you qualify leads. Not everyone deserves your time and expertise. Ask questions that reveal whether a client values quality. Ask about their vision, their timeline, their budget range. Listen for signals that they appreciate craftsmanship. But here's the biggest mindset shift. All because you can work with any client, it doesn't mean you should. The contractors who successfully make this shift are selective about who they work with. They understand that saying no to the wrong clients creates space for the right ones. They recognize that their expertise has value beyond their labor. This is the classic contractor's dilemma that I see industry-wide. During the busy season, you're working 70-hour weeks, missing family time. During the slow season, you're slashing prices just to keep the crews busy, all while paying thousands for leads that mostly go nowhere. It's the feast or famine cycle that defines so many contracting businesses. So what happens when you successfully make this shift? Your close rate jumps dramatically because you're only talking to pre-qualified prospects. Your profit margins increase because you're not competing primarily on price. Your stress level drops because you're working with clients who respect your expertise. One hardscaper told me, "For the first time in 15 years, I feel like my work is actually appreciated. I'm not just a price tag anymore. I'm a trusted expert." Can a solo operator really be a trusted advisor? Absolutely. In fact, it might be your biggest advantage. When clients work directly with the owner, they get access to your full expertise. You become the face of quality in your area. The personal connection creates loyalty that you can't buy. What about the lifetime value of these relationship-based clients? It's not even close. Price shopping clients are one and done. They'll use you once and shop around the next time. Clients who see you as a trusted advisor return again and again, and they refer friends and family. They become advocates for your business. Most contractors who make this shift see their average project value increase by 30 to 50%. Not because they're charging outrageous prices, but because they're working with clients who value quality over cutting corners. Yes, you'll still get ghosted sometimes, but how you respond tells the client everything about your positioning. Try this after your next no-show or ghosting. Instead of the desperate, "Hey, just following up on the estimate" message, send them a helpful article or tip related to their project. With a simple, Hey, I thought you might find this useful for your project planning. No pressure, just value. The right clients respond to this. The wrong ones weren't going to hire you anyway. Every day you spend competing on price is another day you're not building authority. Another day you're reinforcing the idea that you're just another option when you could be the obvious choice. That shift starts with one decision: the decision to position yourself differently, to value your expertise the way that the best clients do, to stop competing on price and start competing on trust. So if you're tired of being treated like just another contractor, if you're ready to be seen as the trusted expert that you already are, let's talk about making that shift in your business. If you want to explore what your trusted advisor positioning might look like, give me a call at 517-955-2154 or visit my website at mediaacemarketing.com. We'll map out your authority positioning layer together, showing you exactly how to communicate your value and attract clients who appreciate quality. No pressure, just real conversation about what could shift in your business this season.